Salut, bonjour, and welcome back to JustDisc. As many of you know, we absolutely love the Kastaplast Berg approach disc. We've done so many videos on it, and we've done a thorough review, so if you haven't yet checked that out, be sure to do so. Anything within 200 feet, this is usually the disc that I'm pulling out. However, it's not perfect, and it can't perform every type of shot needed to approach the basket. And that's where the Berg X comes into play. Now, Kastaplast wanted to design a new Berg that's more overstable, that's not just gonna fly straight and drop where you want it, but it's gonna have some fight back, so you can hit more hyzer lines and maybe even perform some flex shots. So today, we're gonna do a head-to-head, in-depth comparison of the Berg X versus the Berg. And we're gonna do it here at the JustDisc course. We're gonna throw some forehands, some backhands on a whole bunch of different lines, and then we're gonna conclude. And for today, all of our discs are gonna be brand new. The Bergs are gonna be in white. The Berg X's are gonna be in varying colors. They're all in the K1 plastic and they haven't been used, so it should be a good comparison. Is the Berg X simply a better Berg? Do you no longer need a Berg? Or does it complement the Berg very nicely because it allows you to perform different shot types? That's what we're gonna answer today. All right, so we're gonna do some slight turnover shots, at least with the backhand, and then we might try some subtle flex shots with the forehand, and we'll see if it maintains or if it fights out. That held nice. Oh, that's just money all day. That was a little more. Fighting out. Beauty. I mean, that's just a sexy shot right there. And that one was a little nose up, but fought out a little bit more. Okay, not bad. All right, let's now try the regular Berg. It was less anhyzer, but wow, look at that move. Right? Moved a lot more. Yeah, pulled a lot more. You see that? There you go. Ooh, that was way more added, and it took it heavily. Not the best last throw, but that's all right. All right, now let's do some forehands with a subtle hyzer release, kind of trying to get it in. Oh, baby. A little bit of a late release. Oh, but look at that. Oh, too good. Oh, give that a little more flick. Ooh, let's go with these Bergs. Oh yeah, look at that. Yeah. I mean, we do have that pushing wind a little bit. A little high, so it's gonna fade even more. Yeah. Oh, now let's try some forehand slight flex shots. So just gonna try and put a little bit of anhyzer on it and hope that it fades back. A slight flex, little nose up. It's all right. That's good flex, yeah. Fights out. Yeah. Oh yeah, ooh. Kept up for pretty long. All right, let's try the Berg. Yeah, and it just cut, yeah, that wasn't the best, but it's kind of stayed straight on that anhyzer line. Yeah, and then there you go. So it took it and then stayed. It took that anhyzer and then just kind of flattened out and stayed exactly on that route. That one was more direct, but look at this. All right, so for this part, we do have a tailwind, and we're gonna try a big hyzer forehand after a backhand hyzer. It is a big ass, especially for the Berg. I don't expect a lot of fight back, but maybe that tailwind will help. Big hyzer, we're starting off with the Berg. Oh, that was a good one. That still held pretty well, jeez. Oh, that was low. Piercing. We had so much speed, not a lot of fight back. Really try to get that angle. There, that one was a bit high. There we go. And it was fighting back, not tremendously, but it did it. Berg X, I expect almost less effort because the disc is gonna do the work. Here we go. Oh yeah. It's a little bit easier to be confident in a hyzer line, or basically any kind of angled line you're looking to do. Oh, that was a lot more hyzer. Oh yeah. Fights back beautifully. Wind play with it a bit, but yeah, really nice. All right, time for some backhand hyzer lines. That was pretty nice for height. Be short a bit. Oh yeah, whoa, that wind pushed. Woo! Talk about some fight back. Ooh, that was too high. Nose up, but see the Berg? Still kind of goes where you want it, even if it's the Berg X. All right, here we go, Berg. Yeah, that was more up and straight and pulled. That one felt better. But yeah, just not a ton of fade. I am pulling it a tiny bit. That's better. Nose up really helps with the fade, but yeah, very subtle. Not bad. Okay, now time for the staple Berg shot. What the Berg is best at. Throwing it hard, flying straight, not wavering at all. I think the Berg X may struggle with this. Got a little bit of a ramp here. Let's see if we can get this right. Here we go. Yeah, look at this. Just kind of holds that line. Oh, didn't get all, oh yeah. Oh, hoo-hoo. Well, they tell you this is what the Berg is great for. Straight bullet blasts without much movement. Oh, see that one? Flipped up a bit, I think I pulled it. All right, Berg X, same thing. Oh, see, there's the hyzer. Yeah, so if I want this thing to keep straight, I have to put a little ante on it. So that's what I'm gonna try and do. Just kind of force it just a bit so that it holds straight. Yeah, a little bit. There you go. All right. I think I could do that a little bit better. A little more hyzer than I wanted. There it is. Get it. I mean, you add a bit of flex to it, it will fly straight, but all in all, if this was me in this situation, definitely going for the Berg over the Berg X. All right, now that we're done testing both discs, it's time to conclude. Both the Berg and the Berg X are predictable high-speed stability approach discs that fly slow and have minimal glide. There's no questioning that. Yes, they are similar in a lot of ways, but different enough to stand on their own. From our testing, the Berg is simply less predictable at higher speeds when trying to maintain certain angles. Now, we're not saying the Berg is unpredictable, far from it. It's a disc that goes where you want it with minimal fade and turn, so it's still the king at straight bullet approach shots. However, it's when you try to work the disc at higher speeds, especially on windy days, that the disc falls a bit short. For instance, when we tried to throw far distance hyzer lines, the disc was less predictable and consistent than the Berg X. So, is the Berg X just a better Berg? Definitely not. Most players and skill levels should just stick to the Berg, since for most players, it's going to do everything you need it to around the basket without too much fade or turn. Personally, I've been using the Berg X in addition to the Berg for the last few months, and I can confirm that I still use the Berg a lot more than the Berg X. Now, why is that? Well, more often than not, approach shots don't require a lot of speed to get to the basket, but instead require control. And when the Berg X is thrown at slower speeds, it's now the disc that becomes a little less predictable than the Berg due to its added stability. Basically, judging the fade becomes a little bit trickier to anticipate, especially for amateur disc golfers. Therefore, players with less power and skill should just stick to the Berg. But if you're a player who likes the controlled flight of the Berg but needs something that can handle a bit more power, angle control, and win, the Berg X is gonna be your go-to. So in the end, most players will do just fine at sticking with the Berg over the Berg X. You don't need to carry both. However, for those more experienced players, those powerful forehand dominant ones, they might benefit from carrying both. And of course, if you're just one of those cult Berg followers and you have yet to try one, what are you waiting for? Give it a shot. It's a nice addition to the lineup. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video. We love creating quality, informative disc golf content, and we're so happy you're here to appreciate it. Of course, if you'd like to support us, consider buying some merch from our website, join one of our communities, or simply buy a Berg using a link in the video description. Any support is greatly appreciated. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one. Merci beaucoup et à bientôt.